Welcome back. This is Mike with Red Bull Quants. It's June 19th, 2022. Let's do a market update. Well, things got ugly in a jiffy, and the big news of the week was that we sliced through the 2017 high, which stood right here. I mean, does it really have much meaning? There was a touch right here as well, right? So a little bit of context, but in my book, 2 touches, that's more like a wing and a prayer. 3 is starting to be certain, more credible context. 4 or 5, like spike highs or spike lows that line up, there might be something, right? So this is really not much here, and we might fall lower. I mean, we actually have fallen lower. I think the low here was at, let me zoom in here a little bit. Let's zoom into this thing, right? I mean, the low was around 17,700 or something. It got pretty ugly this week. And if you ask me, okay, where do you really see serious support? Well, if you believe in price context, if you believe that price will actually hold up in a full-scale crash situation, which isn't even clear, right? Well, I would probably point at like 11,800, somewhere there, because there I see some context, and there we might have an excuse to produce a bounce. But until that, I'm calling me skeptical. So I don't know. It doesn't look so great. Let me show you the NinjaTrader chart here. We're still short in Gravitas, which is the new swing trading system. It has been short since here. Well, actually, it has been short here, and then it went in, and then it went out again. And it went in, it went out, went right back in, and it's been short the entire time since April 27th. Full disclosure, we haven't been trading that live since about like here, but we have been observing the signal since here, and it was very helpful, especially when these netline sell levels here. See those 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, the reddish ones, yeah, they got sliced. We knew it's gonna get ugly, and sure enough, right? I mean, this is just acceleration. It is a very textbook market crash, right? And a lot of margin calls were triggered apparently on the way down, and we might not be done yet. I'm monitoring the sentiment as well online, and it's just bad. It's just people are getting really frustrated, and a lot of people have lost a lot of their assets in this latest, in the latest sell-off here. On Reddit, a lot of people have been holding on to altcoins, which have been really stomped into oblivion, and that's just really sad. So yeah, don't hold altcoins right now. I mean, it's just not gonna work in this environment. Ethereum. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Doesn't look much better, although if you compare it with Bitcoin, right, the first, right here. See, in Bitcoin we have a net line buy level at around 26,000, I think 869 if I read this correctly. In Ethereum, it's around 1453-ish, 1453. So yes, we sliced, we're way below 2000 now, and we were actually briefly in 3-digit territory. Right? We did dip below the $1,000 mark. Right here, what's so low here? Wow, 879.90. Wow, that's scary, and it's trying to recover. I don't know what will hold this market up. So yeah, everything's still pointing down. This is also short here, right? The sell signal here was also on April 27th, and it's holding up. And again, I really like this system, the swing trading system, because it is pre-responsive, but it doesn't kick you out when things get busy, like here, right? So it really helped through. It was trying to go long here, and then went short back here again, and it's been short ever since. So I like that perspective. I like this kind of market lens. And otherwise, well, I could show you the Glassnode. Now let's actually, let's head over to Glassnode. Let me log in real quick. I'm going to pause the video, log into Glassnode, and show you what's going on there. Okay, we're back with Glassnode, and here we see quite a bit more bearishness, and that's something that I have been looking for, honestly, for quite a while now, because we're coming down, and I kept looking at the signal still stuck above here, and I thought, well, it looks incomplete, and we're getting there, but we're still just starting to dip into the red here. We're just starting to dip into the red. I think we might see a deeper wipeout until it's all said and done, unfortunately. So that's, net unrealized profit loss. It's a good long-term switch off, switch on signal. It's not the holy grail, but it does a fairly good job of telling you what the sentiment out there, not by actually measuring sentiment, but by looking at the profitability of participants. And at this point, we're basically not below the zero line, which means that on average, majority of Bitcoin holders are underwater, meaning they're sitting on losses. And I think it needs to probably go a little bit deeper before it's all said and done. The most bullish scenario would be here. See that we're kind of here, but that seems to be happening rarely. Another one I was following is the MVRV Z-score. It's basically market value versus realized value, and you Z-score it. And here we've been, again, recently, until if you watch my recent market updates, when I showed these indicators, we were still around here, right? And again, I was pointing it and saying, well, we need to probably dip all the way to below here into this, kind of grayed out zone here, this shadowed zone here. And if we're kind of dipping below zero, that's probably where it's gonna end. And we're getting there, we're getting closer, but this again here is the most bullish scenario right here, that we're maybe here, but honestly I don't believe it. I think we're probably gonna have to dip a little bit deeper, just like here. Because just the vehemence recently of the sell-off, and this looks, just in terms of price action, it just looks incomplete. So I think this is positive that we're seeing this here, but I still feel it's just not all said and done yet. Okay, last but not least, anti-adjusted dormancy flow. It's an indicator I've been following for a while now, if you've seen my updates, and I'm really stunned here because we've never seen a signal that low. Again, anti-adjusted dormancy flow refers to coin days destroyed. So basically, if you're taking a coin, you put it in your wallet, touch it for a year, and then you bring it back and sell it, or you buy something with it. That transaction basically destroys all these coin days that you've accumulated. And so what this shows is that if the signal drops and drops and drops and drops and goes into the shaded zone again here, we're in fairly bearish territory, because a lot of new coins coming online, getting, there's a hustle, there's really a rush into cash, there's basically a rush into exits. And there's probably a lot of people who recently bought the dip who are now, close to or starting to capitulate. So we're getting closer to capitulation. And this is probably the most negative signal I've seen. But it's been leading everything else. So that's why I think we might see a new record here. We have seen a new record already. I might see a much more negative signal. It's very much possible. So that's that. Final thoughts. Well, it's obviously a very, very difficult market. A lot of people heading for the exits, and well, there's no telling how low we can drop. Honestly, it's very much possible we're dropping to 13K. Very much a possibility. We need to see signs of a bounce here. Just look at the price action. There's really no reason for us even talking about a bounce or a floor being in place when price action just has not just produced lower lows and lower highs, but it's just, just kind of fallen away. It's just, there's nothing holding it up so far. And this is really nicely visualized or shown by look at these net lines, right? Where these net lines that have been accumulating, and recently the price action has become a little bit more volatile. So we don't even have one right now, right? I think if we would make a new low today, or then we might get one here, which might be positive. But so far, I don't really see any context that we can hang our hat on. Actually, I would probably look at Ethereum. Ethereum is giving us a little bit more context. And 1453 basically is the net line buy level here. So, quite a lot of uncertainty. I'm waiting for more context. I'm not eager to jump in here. If you have money in your couch cushions where you think, screw it, I'm thinking, 10 years ahead. Yeah, sure. But if it hurts, if you're worried, losing whatever money you want to, putting into just hodling or just holding long term, I would just be very, very cautious about that. All right, that's all I got for today. I'll produce a new update as soon as something new unfolds. For now, we're still, well, yeah, we keep falling. So until that stops, there's really not much to be said. Okay, see you guys next time. What are you doing in here? Subscribe to my channel. Upvote the video. Don't touch my chocolate pudding.